Today on Drawbli,
We're looking at the art of Tim McBurnie.
hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are drawing together because art is even better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And let's check out some really cool artwork.
Okay, I love this style. This is super cool.
Tim is known for his art style and I would say his storytelling. He creates images that feel like they're pulled straight from a comic. And I'm going to guess that is because Tim McBurnie is a comic book artist.
Oh.
He creates a lot of really fun comics.
This is very pleasing and pleasant to observe, to look at.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love these color palettes. And I love it's not like a noise, but a texture of almost like a grainy paper that this is on. Like all of these elements add together to just give it this extra spice and pop of just absolute awesomeness.
Yeah, and I am a huge fantasy fan myself.
Me too.
So all of the actual content here is super interesting to me. There's so much going on. There's clearly more going on than just showing off this character riding this creature. There's so many obviously many different ways you can interpret these, but this one's a little more cartoony, but I really liked this one and wanted to show it off for you.
I love it too. I love the bird he's riding on. I love the face of the bird creature.
Yes, the bird's
There's something
face
about
is
that
amazing.
that I'm just really into. And the flowers are just so pleasant here in the foreground.
So
This is
I
super
think
cool.
he self-describes his style as lines with color, if
Yeah?
I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So he doesn't do direct painting or anything like that. He starts with a really rough sketch, he thumbnails it, plans it out, and then sketches over top of that, keeping some more ideas, and then goes through and, finalizes it with line art.
Yeah. Oh, finalizes it with so a rough sketch.
So he has
a drawing,
multiple
and then the line art.
stages of the drawing
Oh,
process,
cool.
and then he starts adding color underneath.
Neat.
underneath of his
neat.
lines.
I like the desaturation of his colors, or maybe it's just the noise in them that make them feel slightly more muted. But it's very almost soothing to look at his work.
Yeah, I know that he also plans the values of his image during the sketching phase. I believe maybe during the thumbnailing phase of it all, just to get a rough idea of where some of the darks and lights are gonna live, controlling focus, all that stuff. So this is so cool. This is one of my favorites of his. There's just so much interesting stuff going on here.
Yeah. Big stories here. I love that. I love storied art.
Also, more than anything, Tim's artwork makes me want to draw big old gnarly goblins and trolls and stuff like that.
Monsters. This is so cool.
As someone who has been on a portrait kick for a while, I feel like now I need to start doing portraits of goblins and ghouls and such.
It does feel like to get a really good fantasy scene going, you have to be able to draw some
Gotta
good
have a goblin,
monsters.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to draw the Princess Knight. We all want to draw the Princess Knight. That's pretty cool. She looks great, but if you don't give her something to fight, like in this scene, what's she doing? She's just walking around looking
What's
nice.
even the point? Yeah,
I
what's
mean,
even the point of it all?
Does she even go on adventures? We don't know.
I also really like that the environments are not just some backdrop for the character. It feels like everything is more thought out and planned. The environment is as much a character as the character itself.
Oh, that's a really good way of putting it, that the environment is like a character as well.
Yeah, and in this case, here it might actually
It literally
be.
is. She's standing on this giant hand, which is so cool.
Yeah, this hand is awesome. There's a lot of cool stuff going on with these. Tim loves birds.
Yeah? He draws a lot of birds?
He's got a lot of birds. I don't know if he has birds in real life, but he draws a lot of birds in his scenes, and I love it.
Yeah.
All sorts of different, really cool, different, almost creature-like things. I do believe that these are real birds though, this thing here
There's
on the
probably
perch.
birds like that in nature. And when they have those extra long feathers, like a bird of paradise style, that's such a cool fantasy element though. It really makes them feel more fantastical.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish I had really long feathers.
When I was young, a teenager, it was the style at the time
To have really long feathers?
to put feathers in your hair.
Oh, yes.
So you could clip them in, buy them from Claire's, and you were just not a cool girl if you didn't have feathers clipped into your hair.
I unfortunately was and am still a guy, so I never had that kind of pressure on me to put feathers in my hair.
It was more of a privilege than a pressure, I would say.
Okay, wow,
Yeah.
wow, I had no idea. Wow, I missed that one entirely.
Yeah, I'm sorry for you.
I wanted to show off these really cute, some kind of ramen truck here, I believe is what it was described as. But not only a ramen truck, but a ramen cart.
Aww.
So
it looks like it's supposed to be pulled by that tiny moped.
It absolutely is. What are you talking about?
That's amazing.
That moped is stronger than it looks, okay?
It must be, but that is a comical look.
Yeah, and I love that the color really helps to make it stand out, so he's like drawing attention to it even more, like, look here, check this out.
By the way, this tiny moped.
And this one is probably up there tied for my favorite of his artworks. I don't know what it is about like taking the main character in a lot of his artworks, and he's kind of always having them turned away from the camera, looking at these larger creatures. He plays with scale a lot in his image. In his images, right. Where the hero character is often very small or diminished, and then these creatures, these trolls, goblins, orcs, whatever they are massive in comparison.
Yeah, I love that. That scaling is so good. We gotta learn how to draw trolls and orcs. I'm gonna create a challenge for us, Ben.
Ooh, yeah?
Where...
A Gerblin challenge?
Yeah. And maybe we'll have a competitive element as well.
Ooh, competition.
Yes, well, I'm making it up on the spot, but we'll have to design a goblin, a troll, and then a monster.
Okay, all right. I'm in. Count me in.
Cool. Meet me here next week. Noon. High noon.
Considering we live together, I think that will be pretty easy.
The challenge will be not meeting before then, actually.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing, is we're not allowed to see each other till noon next week.
I grab my blindfold. But I have to take it off to look at this amazing artwork a little more before we head out.
These action pieces, I love this. These thick, muscular, like very thick, like pro wrestler, sumo almost musculature of the monsters. I'm like, I know where I'm gonna start looking for references, like bodybuilders, serious, the heavyweight bodybuilder genre of human.
Ooh, yeah.
Which I can probably just look around my CrossFit gym and pick out a couple, but that'd be pretty awkward if I was like, can I get your picture so I can draw you as a troll?
Yeah, that might be a little strange.
But I would be like, but you'll be the handsomest troll. Maybe that would be a compliment.
See, I would go more this route, doing the tiny, cute character.
But you can't go take a picture of somebody and say, you're so little and cute, let me get your picture.
So I can turn you into a goblin. I think that is a totally kind and nice thing to say to someone.
You would think, but that does remind me of an incident in my work as a nurse at the hospital with a slightly psychiatrically disturbed patient, in which a offhand comment did lead to quite the robust...
You called them goblin?
No, I won't go into detail, but any comment can be taken the wrong way by somebody who wants to take it the wrong way.
It's true. That's very true. Again, I just wanted to point out, like, the scale differences always played around with in their images are so interesting, where he pulls focus to, like, really small interactions, like that tiny scooter or these two tiny characters next to this very large pig.
Yeah.
And then just finishing off here with, I think this is a pretty old image by this point, maybe a few years or more, but a little different in terms of style.
A lot more, it looks like more paint on a canvas versus lines.
Yeah.
But we still have that same, the environment is a character too, and I love to see that consistency.
Yeah, and Tim, we've looked at a lot of the same styles for these artworks.
Yeah.
But he is capable of, painting and rendering fully developed images as well. He's a very talented artist in his own right.
Yeah.
Aside from the beautiful stylistic artwork we've looked at here.
He does what he likes to do and makes
which is what you should do.
Yeah, these colors are gorgeous, by the way.
And if you want to be gorgeous, by the way, click that like and subscribe button.
And check out our guidebook, How to Easily Draw Every Day, at the link below in the description.
And this is the part where we say
goodbye.
Goomba. Abby, Do you ever wish you were a dragon?
All the time. Oh my gosh, that was like my number one like story I told myself all through like
Why
my
did
childhood.
you want to be a dragon?
So I could fly.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well-
I wanted to be a dragon for the scales.
For the scales? That sounds like saying I wanted to be a human for the skin. That's so creepy, Ben.